Hello, this is Lee Garbutt, and you're about to listen to something very, very special. And now, I recently attended a preview event for LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens, and I've played a little demo version of the game, and you can read my full preview on godisageek.com. But while I was there, I also had a chat with Goring, who is the lead story designer at TT Games. And he's a very funny guy, so this interview is actually quite worth listening to. Lots of information there, and it's quite funny and entertaining as well. So enjoy.
Hit me.
So Graham, for the benefits of our readers, could you tell me what a story designer is?
I mean, do you know, I get that question so much, but mostly in the office. To account for what I do. Basically, my job is to add dialogue to the game, write cutscenes where it's appropriate. On this game, it was really sort of the backstory levels, the new story levels, which I would do in concert with our cutscene department. But yeah, mostly my job is to write the gameplay script, attend VO recordings in order to make sure they hit the right lines for it to make sense, either for a joke or for a gameplay purpose. And generally, like I say, I mean, get away with as little work as possible.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I think no one gets into writing because they like doing lots of work.
No, that's true. Regarding the development of and the timescale of LEGO Force Awakens, how early were the story details revealed to you during this process?
Well, we started making the game early last year. I can't speak to specifics as to what we saw and what we were told, but I mean, we started making the game pretty early last year, and Lucas are great to work with, and they gave us everything we needed to make the game, basically.
It does put you in a very privileged position, doesn't it, to kind of be able to have that knowledge.
It is to know the fate of and to have that information. Oh my gosh, it is dangerous because I'm a blabbermouth.
I can imagine. So actually, funny enough, just playing it, I've sort of already answered my question, but. For LEGO Force Awakens, is the dialogue comprised mostly from clips of the movie, or has there been a lot of new dialogue?
All the cutscenes will be stems apart from the backstory levels where we will use additional dialogue. Anything in the game, generally speaking, there's a couple of bits. There's like an exchange, the bit where Finn gets his name on the TIE fighter, where we pulled stems because we were able to.
Sure.
And obviously, the time you have with actors is limited depending on what they're doing, and so you don't want to re-record stuff that you don't need to.
Yeah,
this is a real clarity issue.
So are you able to say like what actors you managed to get involved?
I can't say the exact list. However, I will say that people will be incredibly pleasantly surprised. I think it's fair to say. I mean, given that we've got Daisy Ridley, who's basically the lead character, which is
a pretty big deal. So.
It's a really big deal, and she was the loveliest person as well to work with. So yeah, I think people will be kind of like slightly mind blown.
I think an obvious question to ask really is working with Lucasfilm, and of course now Disney, now they're in the fold.
Yeah.
Was there a lot of strict supervision in terms of what you could do with the story, in terms of messing around a bit?
Yeah, we've been making LEGO Star Wars games for 11 years now, so I think there's a really great level of sort of mutual respect there. They know that we love Star Wars, and everyone who works on this project is a big fan of Star Wars. So they know we're not going to really try and pitch anything that's unsuitable.
Sure.
So yeah, it's been really, really great. There's never been sort of a case where it's like, no, you can't do that. That's a terrible idea. It's because things like the level design will be hashed out first of all anyway, and you get a lot of the issues sort of dealt with at that point. So when it comes to the script stage, it's kind of like you have a very clear sort of road plan as to what you're doing. So in terms of when we've been sending the script back and forth, there's really been very little where they've said, well, that's maybe not suitable. But that's generally where I put in a joke that's just a little bit too long for a LEGO game in total. And I've been like, yeah, I knew.
I mean, it's interesting because LEGO Star Wars, I think, is probably one of the first times officially where you could have fun with that.
Yeah.
That content and. Beyond parody, it's an official parody almost in a way.
Yeah.
I think that's why it works so well. Looking at your own history, I did a bit of research. So your first project, from what I understand, was LEGO City Undercover. That
was the first one I really wrote the script for. I did actually do LEGO Harry Potter on the handheld.
Okay.
But that was really just text-based stuff, so that wasn't really the same. But yeah, so no, LEGO City Undercover on Wii U and on 3DS. I only did the cutscenes on 3DS, but everything on Wii U. Yeah.
So I know that game had a lot of fans, just because of the humour, which you had a big part in, of course.
Yeah.
Would you ever like to see like some of the more original LEGO games that are based around some of those traditional LEGO sets?
I'd love to do that. Yeah, absolutely.
Because it must be, because there's probably like there's obviously challenges in
adapting an IP.
Yeah, and then doing something different. I guess it's a very
it's I mean, both have like a lot of pressure for different reasons. But I like doing whatever they sort of give me to do. It's an absolute honour. I can't believe that my job is to write silly jokes for kids. It's still just insane, and it happens almost by chance. Really. It's kind of a guy at the office saw me doing stand up, and he was quite high up, and they were like, let's give him a go at the script, and that's been it ever since.
So if they could give you an IP, anything you want, what would you like to do at Lego?
I'd love to do like a full Lego Doctor Who thing.
Yeah. The Lego Dimensions pack actually was very good. And that's coming as somebody who doesn't really like Doctor Who, but it's...
And I say that just because I've done Star Wars now, so I've kind of ticked that box already. Because Star Wars is... What?
Where do you go from Star Wars?
No, exactly. It's the biggest, most beloved franchise in the world. It's I don't know where you go from this. I think when this project ends, I will be a shell of a man just stumbling around. Because it's Star Wars.
I mean, I imagine there probably is a desire to welcome maybe other IPs, not just Star Wars. I mean, I think there's a lot of adult Lego gamers out there, myself included. Especially things like Lego Dimensions, where, as you say, you had the Doctor Who stuff, and then you've got Ghostbusters, and Wizard of Oz is in there as well. Which when you think about it, it's not really.
It doesn't leap out, but it's a thing you'd expect.
Yeah, I mean, is there any sort of desire to maybe work on other things, like on that kind of more adult orientated stuff? Not.
I know you're not adult.
Realm,
do you know what? No, I really like writing jokes for kids. I like writing really daft characters, and so that's been lovely to be able to fill out the hubs in this game with really daft characters with like silly side missions who are really goofy. I love doing that. I don't think I have the sophistication to write something properly adult, because I'll be just doing trying to sneak daft jokes in there all the time and just undermining any kind of gravitas that it had.
Is there any sort of like jokes in the games you worked on that you're kind of really proud of and thought that was?
There's a joke in LEGO City Undercover about putting an apple up a horse's bottom. It's possibly the greatest thing I've ever written.
I don't recall that, but I'm going to have to research that and find that out right now. But, it's been a while since I played that game.
Chase! My horse is stuck in reverse! And it doesn't have a head! And it has a really weird looking butt!
You're sat facing backwards, Frank.
Oh! That'd explain why he didn't like it when I fed him that apple!
I'm going to ask you one last question, which is I am sort of almost contractually obliged to ask this question.
Okay.
We ask this to everybody, no matter where they're from around the world. This question gets asked.
This seems like you're really making excuses, like it's going to be something really bad.
When it comes to tomato ketchup, are you a fridge or a cupboard man?
Fridge once it's opened, cupboard before it's opened.
I think you're the first person to actually say that. Yeah. That's sort of like in the middle, you see, because we get...
Yeah, no, because it's on a shelf in the store, right?
Yeah.
It's not refrigerated, but once it's open, it says keep refrigerated and use within 8 weeks or whatever.
There you go.
I follow the rules.
You'd be surprised how many fights that starts.
Brand ketchup. I'm not gonna be buying ketchup.
Only the best. The
fact that you called it ketchup as opposed to tomato sauce really kind of indicate that. But I just wanted to make it clear. I don't want anyone thinking that I buy I don't know that I can. Can I say Heinz?
Generic.
You've got to make that clear.
No, do you know what? Graham Goring buys Heinz. I'm stating for the record.
I think that's really all the questions
Cheers,
I've got.
Thanks very much.
You passed it with flying colours.
Oh, great. Thank you very much. So there is a right answer. It wasn't. This is just like...
It depends who's asking the question, you see. I'm a fridge guy, but there's actually a war in the office.
It says because otherwise it all separates and... Oh, no, horrible.
Exactly. It's a serious discussion.
I'm with Graham on this. It does say refrigerate after opening on the bottle as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. Right.
And I'm not sure about the 8 weeks thing, because I usually keep sauce for much longer than 8 weeks. But it says
I do too. I was really towing the line for the thing there, for the camera. But no, I mean, it does. I mean, I had a friend who used to work in food hygiene. They said that after a certain while, it actually becomes like really not good for you.
Really?
She said it was like carcinogenic after a while. She may have just been scaremongering, though. She was an odd person.
So that's it for my little LEGO Force Awakens interview. Thank you very much for Graham for taking the time out to chat to me. I hope you all find it very entertaining. You can see my full preview of LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens at godisageek.com, and I'll put a link to that in the description of this very video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, you can subscribe to the God is a Geek YouTube channel for more video fun. And until next time, happy gaming.